Welcome back, everybody. I know it seems longer, but it's been 3 weeks since Sandy hit our region. But for many, it's hardly in the rearview mirror, as you know. Long Islanders hard at work to recover what they can. The canal south of Seaman's Neck Park, they still have boats tossed into land and houses shoved off their foundations. You go in New York City, especially in the hard-hit portions of Staten Island, parts of Queens and Brooklyn, people trying to salvage what they can from homes that soon may be bulldozed. Officials say about 200 homes will be demolished no matter what in the next few days. Now, those homes are in addition to 200 more houses that have already partially or completely burned down, washed away, or otherwise have been damaged.
They have to rip it apart, take it apart, and all my stuff is still inside, but I can't get it out. So I'm stuck.
And in the Rockaways, a sliver of Queens devastated by Sandy. Some, they're still living without heat. That's right, 3 weeks later. President Bill Clinton, his daughter Chelsea, and an army of about 1,000 volunteers rolled up their sleeves to help out there this weekend. Now, with the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, Team Rubicon, and the New York Cares, former president declared a day of action for New York, encouraging volunteers to go out and help those still in need after Sandy hit. And there have been so many other volunteers, obviously up and down the eastern seaboard. But to New Jersey we go next, where they are trying to get people back into their homes, and they're trying to take out, obviously, the trash that is piled up almost seemingly unceasingly. Cash-strapped communities and waste companies struggling to haul the debris away as it piles up, becoming a real safety hazard. And the Garden State got a surprise visit over the weekend. That from Vice President Joe Biden. He walked on to what remained of the historic Seaside Heights Boardwalk, and he surveyed the damage to Hoboken.
A great deal of devastation, a great deal of work to be done.
Now, for many, Sandy has literally uprooted normal life. Displaced families turning rooms, I should say, into homes. Finalist One's Jody Goldberg, she tagged along with one Long Island family that's trying to carry on with what I guess passes as ordinary life in very unordinary circumstances.
Like any normal Friday, Lisa Weinstein was up early, making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for her two sons, 16-year-old Tyler and 10-year-old Ryan, as well as her husband Randy. But this is the new normal for the Weinsteins. Several weeks ago, this scene would have played out in the kitchen of their Belmore home. But now it's taking place in a single hotel room at the Red Roof Inn in Garden City. A single room the four of them have been sharing for more than 2 weeks.
Good morning. Welcome to our home.
The Weinstein family is just one of the thousands of displaced families throughout the tri-state area whose homes are no longer inhabitable because of Superstorm Sandy. Randy and Lisa are just starting to piece their badly damaged home back together.
You know, everything was thrown out of the house, our bedrooms, our beds, the kitchen, the couches, the sofas, you know, all of our carpeting, whatever we had. I ripped out the den as well.
Their ranch-style home sits up against a canal. During the storm, the surge flooded the first floor, ruining virtually everything inside the house.
The waters filled the street that quick, and the house sounded like it was drinking water.
Power has since been restored, but everything now is covered in mold and mildew and has to be thrown out.
Everything on the first floor had to be gone. Whatever touched the water had to be gone.
Now Tyler and his younger brother Ryan are forced to share a full-size bed, their parents sleeping right next to them with their 7-year-old Maltese Max.
Early morning walk, this way that nothing happens in the room.
But the Weinsteins consider themselves lucky because hotel rooms on Long Island are almost impossible to find. Granted, it has been close quarters for the Weinsteins ever since they had to leave their Belmore home back on October 30th. They are thankful to have a roof over their heads. Originally, FEMA was only going to cover their room here at the Red Roof Inn up until the second week of November, but fortunately for them, they just got word that FEMA has agreed to extend their stay through the end of the month.
At least we got another couple of weeks, so we'll worry about it in about a week. We'll start worrying again.
Ryan managed to find a silver lining inside this crowded living arrangement.
If we're hungry, we can't just like go to the big fridge and get something.
Now you have a little fridge.
Yeah. I always wanted a mini fridge.
But his parents have some difficult choices ahead. They say it may take several months to return back home. Until then, they will have to figure out where to live, staying at the hotel and pay out of pocket after FEMA stops paying, or relying on the kindness of friends until they're able to go home.
You're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. We better get done soon.
Now it's time to drive the kids to school nearly 30 minutes away from home at the hotel, trying their best to get back to the way things used to be, life before Superstorm Sandy. In Garden City, Jody Goldberg, FiOS 1 News.
And you know, it's amazing for tens of thousands of people in our region here, they consider themselves lucky. Housing, I believe, is going to be an unbelievable issue here that is going to affect our region for the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days and beyond. We're just scratching the surface of what we've got to deal with. All right, when we come back, we will be talking about the faces of the storm. In any crisis, leadership takes on added value. And in the aftermath of Sandy, 3 political figures emerged: Governors Cuomo, Christie, and Mayor Bloomberg. But already people are assessing their leadership in that crisis, which proved to be best, and how much did the human touch or lack thereof make a difference in constituents' minds. We'll be right back with that after this.